Suspense, we're close, we're connected. We see her eyes, can't back out and get away. Let's see what happens. Bro, I don't rock with eels or snakes. Eels or snakes, I'm checked out. Look at how the camera's moving with our characters. Keeps us involved, keeps us a part of the story. Airplanes make me so nervous. I'd say like the hardest part of directing a suspense scene is really just understanding the edit and how you're basically trying to approach the tone, you know? There's a lot of suspense scenes where it might be just one take and you're just pushing down a hallway. You see something in the distance, you're getting closer and closer and closer to it. I think suspense is really about just mastering the tone. So they have one option to jump out the plane or die, and literally this happened. Fasten up. Wow. So we don't know where we are. The only thing that's lighting the scene is this flashlight reflecting off the rocks. She's stuck. There's so many things that are visually stimulating to us to understand where we're at right now. Alright, she has to get out herself, it looks like. Oh no! So they're walking us through the gameplay right now. Imagine this scene silent, it would not work. All the screams, all that stuff going on, it wouldn't feel the same. With the music playing in the background and setting the tone. Wow. The lighting in this is amazing already. I mean, just look how it's, you know, with beauty lighting and natural lighting, the larger the source is, the softer the skin looks. And from this scene, it looks like this entire world is being lit by this monolith in the center of the room, just reflecting on her skin, which makes it look soft and beautiful. A lot of times filmmakers like to show the audience things that our protagonist in the story doesn't often know, so that we can anticipate or feel like we're smarter than our protagonist at times. Our protagonist, which is Lara Croft here, does not know that there's some type of detonation device on the side of this platform she's on. They showed the audience, but our main character doesn't know. We do that often in filmmaking. Does bro have the Maui necklace from Moana? If so, and forgive me if I'm wrong, they're trying to connect him to a culture. They're trying to say a lot about this character without saying verbally a lot. They're trying to show you who he is.
We gotta get out.
Look at how the camera's moving with our characters. That's like, imagine if the camera was just like on a rock, just like looking at them. You wouldn't feel the intensity, you wouldn't feel the suspense at all, but we're actually moving with our protagonist, which keeps us engaged, keeps us involved, and keeps us a part of the story.
It's pink dolphins, found only in the Amazon.
So we're using simple over-the-shoulder coverage that we do in movies here. The importance of an insert shot is basically to give the audience more information we necessarily need to continue the journey. In this particular scene, we have Laura explaining to this guy the map or the path that they need to go on. And they have pictures, but if we're only seeing the pictures from over the shoulder far away, the audience is missing the details or what to look for when we actually get to the place. So the insert shot basically shows the audience exactly what it looks like and exactly what to look for when we get there. It's all about information for the audience. Don't forget your insert shots, filmmakers. Insert shot again. That's where we're going.
A Maya pyramid inside some sort of cave.
Filmmakers and game developers and game storytellers find creative ways to continue to bring you through the story through subtle things like that. In the beginning of the scene, she was looking at the statue of this pyramid, and she was also speaking out loud what she was seeing. A lot of times in real life, when we see things like, if I were to look at this piece of paper, I'm not going to read DaVinci Resolve 16 Studio. I'm going to look at it, I'm going to internalize it. But when you're watching movies and playing video games, you'll hear often that our protagonist is saying things subtly that they're thinking, but we never catch that as the audience.
Well, they've been searching for a temple entrance for many years. Today they found it.
Alright, so that he gave us a story. He gave us a story based off of that brief interaction. Trinity, which is our antagonist or the bad guy, found the entrance to this cave or to this tomb, and the way that they were able to tell you that story was through someone who basically was about to die, Lara came and saved them. Ah, bro, I don't rock with eels or snakes. Eels or snakes, I'm checked out. Uh-oh. Look at the camera going in and out. She's running out of breath. She's running out of breath. She needs to find air. Oh no. The music's building that intensity. We're getting closer to her. It's getting fuzzy. She needs air. She needs air. Wow. Filmmaking, y'all. Cinema. For the live action movie, shooting underwater requires, first of all, a lot of budget, a lot of experience, and a lot of time. You know, when you're dealing with union and big actors, a lot of times they have stunt doubles. You gotta have a scuba team underwater. There's a lot of things that go on with shooting underwater scenes in real life. But to keep it simple, what I would have done personally is just kept the camera close to them, and I would have just created the world via inserts to keep our actors safe. So I would have shot a couple scenes every couple seconds underneath the water below looking up. Then I would have shot a couple scenes where the camera's just looking at like the light, and then I would have shot another scene when they come out. And if you do a lot of cuts really fast, you can protect your actor and you can protect the rest of the set. So it's a lot easier to do underwater scenes and these things that are dangerous in animation or video games, because it's very expensive and very difficult to do it in live action. Where's that light coming from pinging this? That's beautiful. They want you to be able to see. There's a lot of tricks and things. Light leads your eyes to where you need to see. So that's what they did with this knife or whatever this is. And look how it reflects onto her skin. That's all just very intentional thinking. How come every time they pull something, it just starts blowing up and falling apart? They get you every time. This is all handheld camera movement too. It's not still. It's like on someone's shoulder, like a shoulder rig. The only two characters that really matter in this scene are our antagonist, who works for Trinity, and Lara. We see their eyes. Everyone else around them is wearing some type of face paint or some cultural mask. We cannot see their eyes, so we cannot connect with them. Only two people that we connect with are these two, because they are essential to our story. And they're the only ones that are really lit as well. The effect of a long pause. So imagine you were watching a film, and all you heard was talking, I'm still talking, but it allows the audience to be able to comprehend exactly what's going on. In filmmaking or in writing, there's a word that we use called exposition. And that's when you give the audience too much or tell them too much. Wow. So we started the scene from her point of view. We don't know where we are. We're just waking up. We know as much as she knows right now, which is a great place for the audience to be, because now we have to figure out how to get out with her. It's all psychology and filmmaking and choices. It's really cool. Something's dead. We can hear flies. She mentioned the smell. There's blood here. Something's ahead of us and we don't know what it is. It's all really cool to see this in video games. Like, I didn't even realize the magnitude of detail that they pay attention to. It's honestly almost better than cinema. I just say it's not better because I'm a filmmaker, but you can argue it's better. Look at how this leopard is silhouetted too, and we're looking up to it. It's very menacing until we look down and see it's just them two. Suspense, we're close, we're connected. We see her eyes, we're really close, we can't back out and get away. Let's see what happens. Are we in this? Connecting with the eyes of the leopard. Yeah, you don't want that smoke, bro. You don't want that smoke. Only thing lighting them in this scene is this fire. Fire represents warmth and safety a lot of the times in movies and television and games. Where there's a fire, it's usually coinciding with safety, camp, home, that kind of feeling.
When I was little, my father used to keep things from me.
I think dialogue is one of the hardest things to write. Screenplays and books and anything, a lot of the times people, when they write dialogue, don't write from a place of realness, and they always write from a place of exposition. For example, if I were to write a line like, "Hi, my name is William Rouse, I'm from Pomona, California," there's ways to say that without saying that. I'm not personally the best dialogue writer. It's just a very challenging thing where you have to be able to extract what you're trying to say and minimize it in fewer words. It takes a lot of time. That's why there's a lot of people that write scripts and they have dialogue editors that will come in and really work and finesse the dialogue, because a lot of the times as writers, it's hard to separate yourself from the story and the real life experience.
I had a dream about my mother recently.
They're slowly pushing in. This is like what we call a monologue in a movie. Portray the emotion or connect. We bring the camera in closer and closer and closer and closer as they talk until we finally get to that spot where we're really in their world.
Hide things.
Pulling out, this scene is over. To the moon, to the moon. Ooh. That enter shot, I'm not quite sure what she's looking at, but it's going to inform her emotional decisions for this scene. Oh snap. I believe the Zolly was first used in the movie Jaws by Steven Spielberg. And what a Zolly basically references is a shift in perspective. So as the camera's pushing in, the camera's on a zoom lens and it's either pulling out, or if the camera's pulling out on a dolly, the zoom lens is pushing in. So it's a dolly and a zoom, so they call it a Zolly. And the Z in Zolly is for zoom, and the Ollie in Zolly is for dolly. I think I said it right. In storytelling, before our protagonist usually goes on a journey, they try to make it seem almost impossible. And then you're going through the journey, and there's always something that happens that brings our protagonist back to reality. It's these two people against Trinity and all their machines. They clearly have way more firepower, manpower. They just pulled out a Black Hawk helicopter and started shooting. There's no way, just looking at this point of the story, that these two people can defeat Trinity. And now it seems like Laura lost her only partner in Jonah, so now it's up to her to literally defeat this entire army by herself. In storytelling, that's what captivates the audience. In a story, the audience wants to see if this person can make it happen, and they're rooting for them. So that's what keeps us intrigued as the audience. We want to see if she can make it and if she can beat Trinity when all the odds are against her. A lot of times on movie sets, especially dealing with larger actors or A-list, B-list actors, they'll go through months of training before even getting to set. When they are on set, they have people like stunt coordinators, they have weapon safety officers, things like that to ensure that everything goes smoothly. I did a scene on a short film for a USC thesis project when I first started filmmaking. In order just to light a little dollhouse on fire, we had to have an entire fire safety unit on standby, and they're the ones that are actually lighting the fire because they're able to control it. On a larger scale film set, they have an entire team and an entire unit, allotted to explosions and that kind of thing. A lot of the times when you see explosions in film sets though, the actors are usually not the ones on set. They usually have stunt doubles or other people that are professional stunt actors on set, or what they'll do is they'll perform the stunt with the lead actor, take them off set, create a plate shot, and the explosions will happen. In the edit, they'll bring both of those together and it happens. It just depends on your budget and what you're working with though. There's so many different ways to do it. Hopefully I'll get on the next Star Wars and be able to do it with the full scale budget to make it look like this. She would definitely do great on the Ninja Warrior. Slow motion, 60 frames per second. The world is slowing down as we're hearing this dialogue going on. They're giving us so much information that's going to basically influence what's going to happen next. If this is in 2398 with the voiceover, 2398 is the normal frame rate that live action happens in. When you slow it down, it allows you to breathe and really bring in what they're trying to say or do. That fire silhouette in her is hard. That informs a lot of what's going on. She's angry. She's coming back. And this is where the story turns. This is where our protagonist becomes powerful. Before she was weak, she was vulnerable. Something snapped, something happened. Now she's ready to go. That happens in so many stories. It could be a kid's film, it could be whatever. But these are all the essential things to tell a good story. That's a wrap on Tomb Raider, guys. I appreciate you checking out this episode of Experts React on Gamology. My name is William Rouse. You can follow me at William E. Rouse on Instagram. For more Experts React, check out Gamology on Facebook and YouTube.